for those who are wondering, how did you do doming and culinary? That's what funded my schooling.
Oh,
That's how
wow. Okay, yeah.
that's how I made my money
That makes
because
sense.
I did not. I was like, I will not go into debt. I will pay for it outright. And I was like, okay, I need to make money. And so it was one of those things where I didn't, it was very happen chance how I got into this entirely. I'm into the gothic sphere, which is not surprising. I like
Nope.
wearing corsets and long
Oh,
dresses and like it's more romantic, sexy vampire
yeah.
sort of deal. That sort of, or corporate vampire. I like
Oh, I
suits a
like
lot.
that.
Yeah. And so I used to wear a lot of that. I remember there was a gothic meetup and I came across a lady. Now she was Afro-European. She was from Germany and much older lady, much older seasoned lady. And she came into the event with a man on a lead and he sat down like a good boy on the floor beside her. And I was enamored by that, seeing this
Hmm.
display. And, she just said, was it okay? She asked everyone, is it okay? Because again, this is a scene happening and you want to make sure everyone's okay with this. So if they're
Yeah.
not, he would sit up. So she said, is everyone okay with, my so-and-so sitting on the floor? Is that, and everyone was like, yep, cool, totally fine. And I was
Hmm.
like, all right, fine. And so she noticed me kind of looking and she's like, you're very, first of all, seeing someone who's POC in the Gothic community is very rare, especially back in those days. I'm talking about the 90s. You didn't really see them as much. They were there, but of course, but
It was more
that's a
rare.
thing, is like very rare. And so she was already drawn to me seeing other POC.
Wow.
We were talking about stuff and and she goes, you're very like, you seem very like interested. Like, do you like I would like to drag someone on a collar. And she's like, oh. And she was like, if you're interested, here's my card, and we can talk about it more in a private area. And I was like, yeah, we could do that. And I remember we went out for coffee and we had like, talks and things like that. And she goes, yeah, you definitely, she's like, yeah, I don't get a sub vibe for you. You're definitely giving dominant vibe. And I was like, yeah, she's like, but if you would you like to learn how to do this? I was like, yes, yes. As before I even knew there was money involved, I was like, this was just fun. And
Yeah.
so she trained me for 2 years as to be a dominatrix. And it
Wow.
was and yes, this is how it used to be done. You couldn't just be a dom. You had to be brought in by another seasoned dom and trained for a minimum of two
Wow.
years. Minimum, because again,
That's
it's
incredible.
yes. Yes, it's you can harm people. You can injure somebody if you
Yeah.
do not know your craft well. And so, I had to learn CPR. I had to learn other various things because, again, people can have health conditions. You need to know if they are having any sort of attack. You know how to alleviate or help them until help does arrive.
Yeah.
And things like so I learned for 2 years under her tutelage, and I was her last peer because she was retiring. She was much older. She
Oh,
was like 50 when I met her, so
wow.
she was done at that point. And so after 2 years of training, I basically got to take on some of her clients. And then I realized there was the money aspect. I was like, this is a lot. Wow, you can make an obscene amount of money doing this.
Yeah.
And so um, and that's what I did. That money helped fund my uni. That's how I was able to pay for university, was to do that.